Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Are you guys listening to me? Can you hear me now on the interwaves? I'm Greg Tito. I'm coming at you before we get to Dice Camera Action with Chris Perkins. And I'm going to give you some Dungeons & Dragons news. Some of the stuff that's happening in the world of D&D before we get to some of the amazing things that happen in the world of D&D with actual players and rollers and dungeon masters and vampires and weddings and traveling through time and Mordenkainen's revenge. I have so much to go on here. I got this handy dandy little thing here that has it all going on. The first order of business that you should all know about as we preview more and more Tomb of Annihilation storyline stuff here on this D&D Twitch channel is that you can interact with Tomb of Annihilation right now in Neverwinter. That's right, the action MMO from Cryptic Studios and Perfect World Entertainment on PC has Tomb of Annihilation ready to download today. It's kind of amazing. You can travel to Chult. You can explore Port Nyanzaru, as well as get quests from people like Volo. Yes, that's right. Volothamp Gadarn, which we just did a Lore You Should Know segment on him and where he was named, or how he was named, rather. He is a wonderful scamp. He is voiced by Chris Perkins, another lovable scamp, in Neverwinter. Neverwinter is been around since 2014, maybe, I think. Maybe even before that, 2013. But it is an action MMO that delves into the lore of the city of Neverwinter in the Forgotten Realms, and it has aligned very well with the Dungeons & Dragons storylines that have been coming out in 5th edition so far. So Tyranny of Dragons had a long storyline with the Dragonborn as far as why they were in the Forgotten Realms, and Faerun had to do with the Sundering and the Torel and Faerun coming together, and it was amazing. Abir and Torel, rather. They went to the Frozen North for Storm King's Thunder. They traveled to the Underdark for Out of the Abyss, and now they're traveling to Chult for Tomb of Annihilation. So now it's a perfect time to get in. You will get all of the amazing storylines that we're doing in a action, fun game of MMO. So I don't know if you guys are MMO fans, but Neverwinter is at the top of my list for one to get into. It's super fun. Again, it's out on PC right now. Tomb of Annihilation is in Neverwinter, but it will be coming to Xbox One and PS4 a little bit later. They've been doing really well, the team over there, about getting things into that happening right about now. How are you guys doing in chat? You feeling all right? You got ready to go? Hi. Gav2102 says hi. Hello. Yeah, I don't know why I said Mordenkainen's revenge. He's not really going to be a revengeful type character, but it just kind of came off the tongue like a Montezuma's revenge, but Mordenkainen's revenge, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, definitely say hi in the chat. I'm here paying attention. It's a huge patch. Yeah, all right, good. Armor Wars 1 is downloading it now. That's good to know. Yeah, because there's a lot of great stuff in there, like perhaps a Tyrannosaurus Rex with zombies coming out of its mouth. Just saying, if that's the kind of thing you're into at high levels in Neverwinter, you might be able to get into it. Also going on is WizKids, one of our wonderful partners, is making their Icons of the Realms series of Tomb of Annihilation minis is available this week. Tomorrow should be in game stores if your game store gets them that early, but some game stores get the shipments a little bit later, but you should be getting them all this week or next. There's a lot of miniatures in this new set that have to do specifically with Tomb of Annihilation, including the incentive pack, which has a green devil face in a one of these green devil face type thing. Oh, I should have brought in the actual minis in here. Pelham, if you're listening, go get the minis from Hillary's desk and bring them here so I can actually show them in real life, because it's pretty cool to kind of see what they are. And we've had them in the office for a while now. Not to rub your face in it, but they've been pretty cool to pick up and play around with. My favorite part, and Holly Conrad, if you're watching, we have small tiny potions that are in the incentive pack for Tomb of Annihilation, which makes me very happy. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is another exciting game coming from one of our partners. Codename Entertainment is making this. It is an idle game in which you send out adventurers into the Forgotten Realms, and they go on quests, they defeat monsters and bandits, and they collect XP and gold. all in real time. So even when you're not actively playing the game, they are always going out and doing what you set them to do. So it's one of those games that you can check in with, do a little bit of optimization, move your party around so that it is more effective, and then let it go and run for a while. And you get so much gold. It's kind of amazing. The numbers start to pile up over time. Bajillions of gold. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's actually some of they make up number words almost in a way to make sure you get enough. So that game is going to be out on Steam. We're thinking around Q3, so maybe August, probably more in the September timeline. It will have stuff that have to do with Tomb of Annihilation, and as well you will be able to use characters from the Forgotten Realms stories that you love, such as Jaraxxle was actually just announced today. Jaraxxle is a character from R.A. Salvatore's novels, the Driss novels. There will also be some characters you might recognize from Force Grey coming into Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. A lot of the cast members are so excited to see their characters that they've been playing with for years now, some of them. I know Joe Manganiello in particular is really excited about Arkin the Cruel being shown as a character. I'm not sure if they've shown them yet, so if they haven't yet, go to idlechampions.com and some of those characters will be revealed very soon. You can also follow them on Twitter at Idle Champions for news on when that game will be coming out. I'm pretty excited about it. Force Grey, Lost City of Omu is coming this Monday. We just spoke to Deborah Ann Woll, the star of True Blood and Daredevil. I believe she's involved with the Punisher series on Netflix. That's going to be coming out too. She just said she can't watch the premiere of Force Grey, Lost City of Omu because she's going to be at the premiere of the Defenders series that's coming out on Netflix in a couple of weeks. She's doing that event in LA. But you guys can watch her play Dungeons & Dragons right here on the D&D Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DND. You're already here. I don't know why I need to give you the URL, but I'm going to do it in case you need to know. She plays Jamila, a barbarian, in a storyline that's very reminiscent of what's going on with Tomb of Annihilation and all the content that we've been throwing out there. So it was a really great interview. If you have a chance and you didn't watch it already, thank you guys for sticking around from that to this. Go look at it right now because I already had a super huge fan crush on Deborah Ann Woll, and now I have an even greater one because of how she talked about D&D. And yeah, right. Thanks, Ryan. It's really, I have a huge amount of fandom. It's amazing. She was really just talking wonderfully about what Dungeons & Dragons is and what it means to her, and it really kind of touched a chord with me. So you should go watch it right now. It's pretty awesome. Anywho, did Vincent D'Onofrio just reply to me on Twitter? I feel like he just did. I need to go do that right now. There's some other fun things going on with Force Grey, City of Omu as well, such as Utkarsh Ambudkar is playing Hitch, a rogue. He's pretty awesome. Brian Posehn plays Calliope, a female bard, which I've been very excited to see. Apparently he does some raps as well as some songs because, you know, actually being a bard, you kind of have to do that sometimes. Also very cool is Matt Mercer is the Dungeon Master, and from all the things you've seen of him on Critical Role as well as here at Stream of Annihilation, he just blends together all the wonderful voice acting that he's able to do with great storytelling and getting in together our so actually that was actually Vincent D'Onofrio who just said that we just spoke to Deborah Ann Woll. My mind is a little bit blown right now. It happened 43 seconds ago, and I'm kind of going crazy. So welcome to my life. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of crazy, but I enjoy it quite a bit. That he on Twitter was very excited that I spoke to Deborah Ann Woll today. Whew, nutso. You guys should go check out Force Grey Season 1. We've been replaying them here on the Twitch channel. Chris Hardwick is in that, as well as Jonah Ray. They played some really great characters in the Force Grey universe, as well as Ashley Johnson from Critical Role. We really want to get more of them involved when we do maybe a Season 3. I don't know. We'll throw that out there. We're going to get the whole gang together at some point. But we've been replaying those here on the Twitch channel, and yesterday you can go check them out right now, including the Lost episode / last episode, depending on how Nathan Stewart wants to spin it. It is on the Twitch channel, so go if you want to get caught up for the story of the lost city of Omu ahead of time. That was the perfect chance to get into that. That lost episode, by the way, is 4 hours long and is tons of fun, and it was a live event at the Egyptian Theater in LA. Definitely worth your time, and that's where Dylan Sprouse's character, the Tyrrell Tall guy, is involved. So that's pretty amazing. Okay. What else is going on in the world? Yeah, Bard love all over the place. I'm with you, Ram Rampara. I really do love the fact that they have Vicious Mockery, a spell that they can basically make fun of you and you feel bad and you lose HP. I can't go wrong with anything like that. Don't you guys worry, Waffle Crew will be starting in about a couple of minutes. I have just a few more things to talk about in Dungeons & Dragons world. I feel like I'm one of those talking heads that goes through a whole bunch of things as I'm pointing and doing things, so bear with me as I get to my handy-dandy little thing here. HasCon is something you guys should be aware of. Do you know what HasCon is? Do you know that Dungeons & Dragons is owned by Hasbro? Well, they do. They own Wizards of the Coast, and they own Magic the Gathering and Dungeons & Dragons and Avalon Hill, and we are all going to Providence, Rhode Island to check out HasCon. That's right, September 8th through the 10th. All of the brands that are in Hasbro's umbrella, and there's a lot. There's Play-Doh, For Real Friends, Littlest Pet Shop, Transformers, My Little Pony, Monopoly. Crazy amount of stuff that Hasbro does, including their licensed stuff such as Marvel and Star Wars. They're all going to be in Providence, Rhode Island, September 8th through the 10th, and Dungeons & Dragons will be there in force. I'll be there. Trevor Kidd will be there. Mike Merles will be there. Chris Lindsay from the D&T team will be there. And we'll all be talking about what's great about Dungeons & Dragons to people who may not know about it, but you guys already know what's great about it. So you should head to Providence, Rhode Island, and potentially get tickets for D&D events that we'll be having throughout. It's right when Tomb of Annihilation storyline comes out in game stores, so we'll be having Adventurers League events throughout the entire weekend in Providence, Rhode Island, and it should be tons of fun. If you're interested, go to hascon.hasbro.com, click on the Tickets tab, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see where all the Dungeons & Dragons events are there. And of special note are the ones that have to do with the amazing, fun way that you can get your family involved. So you might have a family member who's more involved in Transformers or Star Wars or My Little Pony. Bring them to HasCon. They'll see all that awesome stuff, and then you might be able to show them about Dungeons & Dragons. And there'll be games that'll be tailored for a parent or guardian or a friend and kids 10 or less, as well as ones that are geared for kids 10 and over. So you make the choice. 10 is that cusp age. You never quite know if they're going to be more adult or more, but we'll let you decide that. And that should be pretty exciting. Again, I will be there in Providence September 8th through the 10th, so it's a good way for me to say hi to you, friends and family of what we do here at Dungeons & Dragons. I'm excited to go back to the Northeast, honestly, because that's where I grew up. I grew up in Connecticut, so I will definitely be spending some days roving around my old stomping grounds. I went to UConn in Storrs, Connecticut, which is very close to Providence, so I will definitely be checking out everything that's changed about my campus since I've been there freaking 18 years ago or whatever. D&D Beyond is a thing. It is out. It is going to be coming out for reals on August 15th. It is out in beta right now. I suggest you go check it out. It's a character builder. It's got amazing amount of D&D lore in the compendium, as well as spells that you can look up very well. It's all meta tagged in a way that's easy to understand and search for. Adam Bradford and the team over at Curse Media did a fantastic job of making sure everything was picture perfect for how Dungeons & Dragons works in 5th edition, and I suggest you go check it out, dndbeyond.com. They're also on Twitter at dndbeyond. Again, that's coming out for real on August 15th, but the free stuff that's available, such as the basic rules and the general amounts of classes and races, are all there, so you can check them out right now. And it's worth it. You can go make characters. You can if you need a random NPC really quickly, there's a button you can press for a random character to be generated with all the correct stats at whatever level you want. It's kind of an amazing tool, and I hope you guys can check it out. It's optimized for use on mobile, so if you have a tablet like this or a phone, or your characters, you're a dungeon master and your players are all using this, there will be combat trackers will be added to this. So Curse is not ending with the August 15th. They're going to continue to add more and more stuff to it. So there's going to be a combat tracker, encounter planners, monsters. I'm pretty excited about what it's going to be on. So go check out dndbeyond.com. We spoke to James Wyatt on Dragon Talk yesterday about Plane Shift. I don't know if you guys know about this, but Magic, the Gathering, and D&D both have these amazing amounts of lore in them. And James Wyatt has been on the D&D team. I learned in the interview. He started in 1999. So he worked on D&D for 14 years. He moved to the Magic team, really invested in doing the lore for Magic. And as part of that, he's been creating these art books. So you've seen Magic cards and their artwork. It's pretty cool artwork, but it's very small. It's in like a 2x2 inch, thing. So then these art books they've been putting out are full-sized art. So you get to see all the details that all of the amazing artists put into that. And you can purchase that. But those art books also have a lot of campaign information, which is really interesting because it gives you everything you might need to run a D&D campaign or an RPG campaign in a Magic setting, which I think is pretty cool. And on top of that, James Wyatt, in his own time, which I also learned in our interview yesterday, go watch that in our archives right now if you can. He does that all in his own time, and he's making these documents that are 30 to 40 pages of how to incorporate D&D 5th edition rules with the campaign information that's in all of these art books from the Art of Magic books. It's fantastic. The Amonkhet Plane Shift just came out a few weeks ago. I suggest you go check that out. The best way to do that, the URL is kind of a nightmare to say out loud, so I'll just say Plane Shift Amonkhet in Google or however you search, and you should find it no problem. It's on the D&D site as well as on the Magic site. I suggest you check it out if you're interested. Not only just in Magic lore, but also how to adapt other settings to the D&D 5th edition rules. I think it's pretty cool. Dragon Plus is coming out. It's already out. Issue 14 is there. There's a Tomb of Annihilation preview, so you get to hear from Chris and a lot of the story team as they build stuff, as they get everybody excited for Tomb of Annihilation. There's free maps of the month. Rudy Rutenberg, who is the dungeon master for Fury's Reach, Maze Arcana Fury's Reach on Wednesday nights. He wrote a special poem that incorporates some of the Tomb of Horrors from Tomb of Horrors, so go check that out. And as well, Rat Queens. I don't know if you're familiar with that comic book by Curtis Weeb, but it's amazing. It's a kind of 18 and over comic book, but it's about a group of D&D adventurers called the Rat Queens, and he wrote a D&D adventurer using all of that IP, and it's kind of amazing. I suggest you go check it out. Definitely some sex and drugs and rock and roll in that. So again, use it for older eyes only, or if you have really mature kids. Just throwing that out there. Anyhow, speaking of all the amazing streaming that's going on, tonight, again, we have Dice Camera Action coming up very soon. The Waffle Crew is going back to Castle Ravenloft into the distant past for Sergei and Tatiana's wedding. And Paulton and Evelyn might have an old friend in a box, and the party sees their fate in a Taroka deck. That all happened in episode 56. And in episode 57, you're going to see all that wrapped up, which is kind of amazing. Not necessarily wrapped up. I don't know. I'm looking at the Waffle Crew right now as they're doing their warm-up, talking to each other, and it's kind of distracting / amazing. They're all really excited. I can see the smiles on their faces. I love it. There's been a lot going on in Dice Camera Action, so there's a lot to catch up. Misclicks D&D Risen is going to have a rebroadcast tomorrow at 2 p.m., and there will also be a new Maze Arcana Fury's Reach tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and as well as 7 p.m. tonight. They're back from San Diego Comic-Con. They're going to be picking back up where they left off. It's going to be pretty amazing. Girls Guts Glory Episode 7 is on Thursday at 2 p.m. I'll be talking to... I'm not sure which ones we're talking to. Kim needs to get back to me. I think it's going to be Kim for the... No, Kim already did hers for the last one, so I think it'll be... Finally, we get to talk to Sujata Day, who plays Ichabod on Thursday. I think that's what's happening, so don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty excited to ask her because I just started watching Insecure Season 2, which she is in. That's on HBO. She's a fantastic actress. She makes me laugh a lot during Girls Guts Glory, so I hope that she's able to make me laugh when I talk to her on Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We'll then throw it to Acquisitions Incorporated, the C Team. Jerry Holkins and that whole crew has been running through some amazing stuff, and they're going to start to incorporate more and more Tomb of Annihilation storyline stuff there. They were at the Stream of Annihilation. They were one of my favorite groups to incorporate some of it because they had some the tattoos that were on their face that the makeup artist put on that they all had to interpret and do a puzzle, which was a lot of fun. Then finally on Friday, High Rollers Uncharted Territory has off. We will not be doing them on Friday, I believe, but they will be back next week, and the Dragon Friends will be at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Also, they will have their 4th episode on Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. But even though High Rollers has off on Friday, Nathan Stewart, my boss, we just recorded an episode with him yesterday of Dragon Talk. Feel free to jump into that. But he wants to jump on and talk to you guys, kind of do a fireside chat, maybe give away some loot. Might be any of those crazy things might be happening. I think he should give away one of these, which is a Velcro patch. I was just showing this off to Mike Robles, a former employee here of Wizards of the Coast, who was looking for Velcro patches. And I'm like, oh, we have some Velcro patches that you might be able to get from Nathan Stewart on Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You should definitely do that. Hi guys, everybody that's here for Holly and Jared, throwing up into the chat. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. You are more and more and more than welcome. Some good stuff. Whoa, I'm scrolling through here. It's all Holly and Jared in here. Yes, what up, party people in the Waffle Crew? I can hear them laughing. They're definitely getting all warmed up and ready to come in here. And I'm going to get out of here from this chair so that Chris Perkins can take my seat and get going with the Waffle Crew. Do you have anything I should tell him? Any last minute story suggestions from you guys? Yes, those were fun interviews, Air Drawn Dagger 976. Those were really fun interviews. Those will be coming out on the Dragon Talk podcast very soon. Ryan, I think he's actually already given me those audio ones, but we have so much stuff in the can right now because we've been doing like 2 or 3 interviews. No, not 3. We've been doing 2 interviews a week on Dragon Talk Live on Mondays. So those have been really fun interviews, and they'll be coming out in audio form very soon over the rest of it. Tomb of Annihilation, all the stuff that we've been pointing to comes out all over the world on September 19th. It'll be in game stores, though, on September 8th. So if you have a local game store that you love, go check them out on September 8th and pick up your copy of Tomb of Annihilation. It looks pretty cool. We'll actually be getting it in the office in the next couple of weeks, so I can't wait to have the physical thing and show you guys here. That's going to be pretty cool. Skyward Ella, yes, it is a good night when it's Waffle Crew night. It is always a good night. Evelyn WN, is your first Dice Hammer action? Are you kidding? Welcome to the crew. I'm so glad you're here. Ram Rampara, we love you too. You're the best. I'm out. I'm going to get vacated out of this chair and let Chris Perkins take over. Thank you guys so much, and we'll be back next week with the D&D News at 3:30 Pacific time on Tuesdays before Dice Camera action. All right. You guys are the best. Goodbye.